Hello everyone, welcome to my channel CAD and Engineering by JS, and today we have the second part of the video where we learn about ObjectSnap and ObjectSnap tracking. The ObjectSnap modifiers work with other OSNAP. For example, the temporary tracking allows you to track a selected point in a polar direction from any point you selected. For example, if you're going to use the temporary tracking with the line command, you will start the line command. Then when you prompt to enter the first point, you're going to type in TT and press enter. Then you're going to select a point and move away from it. This is the point that you're going to track. Then along that alignment path, you're going to click, and that will be the first point of your line, and the second will be aligned along one of the preset angles in the polar tracking option or settings. Let's try this with an example. I'm going to click on the line command, and then when we're prompted to specify the first point, we're going to type in TT and press enter. Then we're going to hover over and click, for example, on this point. This is the point that I'm going to track. Now I'm going to move away, and you can see the alignment path in green. And then let's say I'm going to move away 4 inches. I'm going to type in 40 and press enter. And from there I can move in any of the preset angles. In this case I set it to 30-degree increment angle, and now I'm going to type in the length of my line at 60 degrees. It's going to be 55 inches. I'm going to press again, enter, and enter to finish the command. We can verify here that the distance from the 2 points is 40 and the length of my line is 55. Another ObjectSnap modifier is midpoint between 2 points. This one is intended to find a midpoint between 2 selected points, but it does not have to be specific on an object. For example, let's say we want to draw a line in the middle of the doorway floor plan. Let's click on the line command, and then we can use OSNAP override. Press the control key, right mouse click, and select mid between 2 points. I'm going to hover over and select the midpoint of this line, and then if we read the prompt, second point of mid, select the second midpoint, and then I can draw my line starting at the midpoint between these 2 lines. Let's talk about ObjectSnap tracking. ObjectSnap tracking helps you draw objects at specific angles and in a specific relationship to other objects. For example, let's draw a line from this endpoint. So you're going to click and select that endpoint, and then you're going to hover over this endpoint, which is the one that you want to use for tracking. Now when you move away, you can see that there is a plus sign on that endpoint. That means that endpoint is being acquired, and now you can track that endpoint. As you move your mouse, you will see an array of alignment vectors that is based on the angular increment that was set or selected in your polar tracking. For example, 45 degrees. You can see that I'm tracking the endpoint, and at the same time it's showing the angle 45 degrees. If I keep moving my mouse, you will see that I still keep tracking the endpoint. Now it's at 60, and now at 90 degrees, and so on. I'm going to click, and I have my line. If you want to track objects using all the angles, you should activate here the tracking settings and select track using all polar angle settings. Click OK. And let's say I want to draw a line that will track these 2 points at 45 degrees from each other. So I'm going to start the line command, and I'm going to hover over the first point to acquire it. Then I'm going to hover over the second point. Remember, you hover over, you don't click. You just pause for a second there and then you move away. You can see that I am tracking both points, and then the two alignment vectors are shown in the intersection. If I click now, I can draw a line from that point. Let's now illustrate how to use OSNAP tracking in AutoCAD by creating the figure shown on my screen. Pay attention that the rectangle shown in the center will be drawn, making the vertex coincident with the midpoint of the 4-inch side and the 24-inch side. So we're going to use OSNAP tracking to track those 2 points. I started a new drawing using a template in inches, and now let's verify that polar tracking is set to 45-degree angle increment, which it is, and we're going to start the line command. Going to draw the first line, clicking anywhere in the graphic window, and move away from the first point, tracking the 45-degree angle. And now we're going to enter, type in 24-inch, which is the length of the line. Then we're going to draw the next side at 90 degrees from the first line, and the length is 4. So I'm going to type in 4 and press enter. Now we're going back, and as you can see, I either can type in 24 for the length of the line, or I can track the end point of the line and get the same result. And this way we'll continue. Now I'm going to draw the second leg, type in 24. Now I'm going to move 90 degrees off and type in the length, which is 4, and back. So I'm going to repeat this 4 times, tracking the end point, or I can type in 24. The next leg, 24 length. Now moving perpendicular, entering 4 inches for the length, and going back up, tracking the end point, typing 24, and the same way we're going to finish the last leg. 4 is this length, and then we can close the figure there. Next we're going to draw the rectangle. I'm going to press enter to restart the line command, and now I'm going to track the midpoint of one side, and then track, you see the plus sign there, so I acquired that midpoint, and now the midpoint of the 4-inch length side. Move away, I'm tracking it, and right there in the intersection I'm going to click to start my line, and we're going to repeat that process 4 times. So I'm tracking the midpoint of the 4, and there we have the next point. We'll continue. Tracking the midpoint of the 4-inch side, and then the next one I hover over the short side 4-inch until the tracking vectors intersect, and then finally we'll close the rectangle here. I'll leave you now with an exercise to practice. Remember to track the midpoints and pay attention to the dimensions shown on the screen. I hope you have fun doing this exercise. And that's all for today. Remember to like my video if you think it's worth it, and to provide questions and comments. They are very much appreciated. Thank you.